What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and this is your Kevin Holland versus Stephen Thompson Wonder Boy breakdown. I love this fight. This is a really great fight in the welterweight division. We're really going to see a real legitimate test on how good Kevin Holland is in this top 10. Obviously, the Chimaev fight was really weird, and obviously we know Chimaev is like a top 3 welterweight considered now, and he's a huge dude, and the whole entire situation in that fight was crazy, but I don't feel like, even though I still probably would have picked Chimaev over Holland, even if they had full training camps. It just was a weird situation, and I feel like, hey, it is what it is, right? At the end of the day. But, hey, when we look at the stats, though, of this fight, it's a really good matchup. I love this fight. Wonder Boy, kind of the old guard, a guy that had fought for the title a whole bunch of times, a guy that beat up a lot of good strikers in this division, and man, he's given guys problems, but recently has fallen down to some rough times due to the fact that I think some people have finally challenged that wrestling or that takedown defense record he used to have. I remember before even the Gilbert Burns fight, there was just narrative that was going around that he's a hard guy to take down. And I always thought guys like Colby would give him problems, guys like that, guys, good wrestlers like that. And yeah, a lot of people thought he could beat Usman, even at one point. People even said that. Yeah, I was one of those people too that believed that he had a good chance at beating a guy like Usman, but we'll see though, we'll see. Wonder Boy comes with a record of 16-6. He's fighting at South Carolina, age 39, a height of 6 foot and reaches 75. So yeah, that's interesting. So Kevin, on the other hand, right, he's had an interesting run at welterweight. He's had 3 fights at welterweight, 2 wins, but not really good competition. I love Tim Means. He's a good fighter. I respect him, but at this point in his career, he's not a top 10 welterweight or a top 15 welterweight. He beat Alex Oliveira, and Oliveira gave him problems. He got it done though. So in those 2 fights, he got it done. And then obviously Chimaev kind of ran over him. He had issues at middleweight when the big wrestlers got on him. But Holland, if you dismiss all his losses and you look at his wins though, every time he wins, you're like, wow, Holland's really good, right? But it's every time he loses, it's like, oh man, he's not improving, right? It's always those 2 things that come through my head. Holland, in my opinion, he's still like an athletic talent you gotta respect. The guy is, people don't realize how long he is and how freakishly like athletic he is in certain areas, where like off bottom he's getting knockouts on Jacare Souza. Obviously Jacare is older and this and that, but still you got to think of that, like his athleticism and his length are just some of his best attributes, and that's what it really comes down to. That's why guys have such a hard time beating him. You have to kind of wrestle him to win. Obviously the Dawkins fight was kind of weird, but that was a headbutt, so it is what it is. But let's look at Kevin Holland's stats. He comes with a record of 23-8. Fighting at Fort Worth, Texas, age 30, a height of 6'3", and a reach of 81, like I said. So, and Holland does have some good wins in this division. He actually has a win over Jeff Neal, who just looked amazing against Vicente Luque. So you have to give him that. But yeah, they both have wins over Jeff Neal, which is interesting. So yeah. But this matchup is it's such a weird matchup, because it's like Wonder Boy is obviously, in my opinion, the better striker, but Kevin Holland is so much longer than Wonder Boy, and that's like, what kind of problems is that going to give Steven in the striking range? And anytime he tries to come in the pocket, Holland throws that too, right? There's so many aspects of this fight. It's like, it's just fucking insane. But Holland's resume is pretty all right. His best one is obviously beating Jacare and knocking him out. It's crazy how many fights I predicted for him. I'm 7-2 in my predictions with Kevin Holland. The only 2 fights I got wrong was him fighting Dawkins, and then the Jacare fight. Everything else I got right. But yeah, he has that loss to Chimaev, beat Tim Means, Alex Oliveira, I talked about that. The loss to Kyle Dawkins. The Marvin Vettori fight, he did have one moment in the 5th round where it looked like he kind of rocked Marvin. So he had that, but he pretty much lost that whole fight. He fought Derek Brunson. A lot of people forget he actually dropped Derek Brunson in the 2nd round, but he lost that whole entire fight. Beat Jacare, Charlie Ontiveros, which isn't a good look, and we'll talk about that Charlie Ontiveros later. That fight later, Darren Stewart by split decision, not a great look. Beat Buckley. In my opinion, where he's looked best in the striking is the Buckley fight. The setups for the pullback counters with the cross, it was beautiful. He also has a win over Fluffy Hernandez, which has looked amazing. He lost to Brendan Allen, beat DeChirico, Jeremy Mearshart, stuff like that. So he has some decent wins. Had a really close fight with Thiago Santos, and Thiago in his prime, so that was also a good look for him. But yeah, the Charlie Ontiveros fight is something I looked at, and Charlie was really doing good at range against Kevin Holland before the takedown and the slam injury thing. And yeah, like, he was looking really good, and it looked like he was giving Holland some problems on the feet. And that's something I look at in this fight, where Stephen Thompson will give Holland problems. He gives everyone problems on the feet. I think a lot of people are forgetting, because of the last few fights, how good this guy is on the feet. I still believe he's a top 5 striker in MMA right now, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. You look at his fights against Jeff Neal, you look at his fights against Vicente Luque. Like, I tell you guys, I'm probably rewatch that Luque fight. He battered him. Like, he battered him. And yeah, it's tough, man. It's gonna be tough for Holland. But yeah, obviously, let's talk about Wonderboy's resume. And he's looked amazing in certain fights, and he's looked subpar, right? The Bilal Muhammad and the Gilbert Burns fights wasn't his best performance. I thought he did a little better against Gilbert than even Bilal, which is weird. Like, Bilal had the better performance. Bilal almost finished him in the first round, which was crazy. Just took him down at will and kind of controlled him. Against Gilbert, Wonderboy had a moment, I think, in the second round where he did drop him, so that was okay for him. He beat Jeff Neal, masterclass against Jeff Neal. The movement, just everything he did to mess with Jeff Neal's movement, and every counter he had. Like, anytime Jeff Neal would come in range, he'd always had an answer for him, and it was fucking amazing. Same thing with Vicente Luque. It was more of a scrap against Luque, but man, he battered Luque, and those are 2 insane wins to have back to back. He lost to Anthony Pettis, got caught, in my opinion. He was winning that fight before he got caught. Lost to Darren Till. It was a close fight. I actually thought he won that, but it was a close fight, so I wasn't mad at it. Beat Jorge Masvidal. Lost to T. Wood twice. Beat Roy McDonald, Johnny Hendricks, Jake Ellenberger, Robert Whitaker, which is an amazing win for him. So yeah, you see these, like, he's had insane victories, right? But it's a lot of, like, the old generation where some of his best work is done. And in this generation right now, I shouldn't say the old generation, but the prior generation, you know, the 2015, 2016, that kind of era was his era where he was at the top of his game and was very, very scary. He was a scary dude, and anything he touched, it looked like it would fall right at that moment. And it's interesting, man. It's a real passing of the guard. He's 39 years old. Holland's 30, right? Holland has the reach, the athleticism. He has all the tools to get the knockout. The only issue is, can he find it? And will he be able to capitalize on moments against Wonderboy? It's hard to say. I still haven't seen Wonderboy look bad in the striking. I've only seen him look bad in the grappling. Now, could Kevin Holland go for takedowns? Kevin's a decent grappler. It's like, it's a weird thing. Like, I tell people, Kevin's actually a better grappler than people give him credit for. He just really, he has bad fight IQ, in my opinion, and he doesn't know how to offensively grapple when he should against certain opponents, in my opinion. And, you know, obviously Marvin and Derek, you're not going to take those guys down. And then Chimaev, obviously, is not a guy you're going to take down. But guys like Darren Stewart, in my opinion, shouldn't be taking him down. And I think in that fight, Darren Stewart is a guy, like, I've seen Eric Anders take him down. Like, why couldn't Kevin Holland go for a takedown in that moment? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or stuff takedowns from him. It's weird. And he has this weird thing, in my opinion, where he kind of almost gives takedowns up for free. Like, Tim Means was taking him down too, which is like, Tim Means shouldn't be taking you down. Or Oliveira shouldn't be taking you down. Like, come on. So he has to get rid of that kind of mentality of just, like, you know, falling on his back. I think he got it from jiu-jitsu, but he is a good grappler. I do believe that. He's just not a great one. But against Wonderboy, that's something he could use. I don't think he will, though. I don't think that's in his mentality to do it, but it's something he could do. But yeah, I haven't seen Wonderboy look bad in the striking. And I just honestly believe Wonderboy wins a decision 10 out of 10 times. I just truly believe. I don't see Kevin Holland winning a decision. I see Kevin Holland catching him. If Kevin can catch him, then good on Kevin, but I just don't see it right now. That masterclass I saw against Jeff Neal just recently was just like, man, that was amazing. And the Charlie Ontiveros fight didn't give me any good hopes. So I'm rocking with Stephen Thompson by decision. I think it'll be a close fight, actually, in certain moments. I think maybe the first round might be close, but after that, I got a 49-46. I think Wonderboy's going to take it. It's hard to look good against Wonderboy. He's just one of those hard puzzles to figure out. If you get the win, I mean, it's amazing, but And I like Holland a lot. I really do like him a lot. But if Holland can get the win here, good on him. But I'm rocking with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson over Kevin Holland, but by decision. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the breakdown. Go follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. All those links will be down below in the description box. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. And I think I'm going to stream this week. I think I'm going to stream this week for this card. So 2 streams back to back should be good. Hope you guys enjoy. Love y'all and goodbye.